Hello and welcome! Welcome on the FRS again. Today we're installing this Racebred Components heel toe plate. I have actually had this thing sitting on my press for a few months now. I just haven't got around to installing it, but it should be pretty straightforward, pretty simple. Just drill a few holes and install it. This is a universal unit, but I will be installing it on my FRS. But the install on different vehicles should be for the most part the same. It will vary depending on the bottom of your car's floor layout and things you have to avoid. But the reason I am installing this is ever since I took the carpet out of my car, my feet kind of sit a little low, and I'm pretty much using my tiptoes to push the pedal, so it feels weird and unnatural. So this kick panel should raise my feet to make it a little bit a more comfortable position. You're gonna want to get the car jacked up because you're gonna have to go underneath it. There are some, I think there are brake lines and fuel lines that go along the frame rail on this side. Something you're gonna have to avoid. So you want to be careful where you're drilling. If you do, you're gonna have a bad day. You want to get the plate situated where it's comfortable, where your heel is on the tape. So this is going to be pre-fall forward and to the right towards the transmission tunnel. Unfortunately, the bottom of the car isn't completely flat, so there are things you're going to have to avoid and work around. And once you get the panel where you think you want it, use a little bit of tape or where the bolt holes are so you can mark it and start drilling some holes. But unfortunately, one of the holes happened to line up dead center of my drain, so I'm gonna have to adjust the panel a little bit and kind of go to the side of it. I always like to use something sharp to kind of make my mark where I'm gonna punch it. Then I will punch it, use a smaller bit at first, then I'll move up to an even larger drill bit. So that I got this hole drilled out and I kind of have it semi-bolted down, I can pivot it, slide it around to get exactly where I want it to be. This does have quite a bit of adjustment. It has 3 different slots. So yeah. So let's work on this one next. So I'm going to do one at a time. Just slowly work my way around. Okay, my second one is done. Now we can move on to the third one. Okay, I got 4 of the holes drilled. Yes, it does take longer to do it this way one at a time, but it is the safer method. I saved the hardest one for last. I don't know if you can tell, my lighting kind of sucks. It's kind of like a little brace right there. So yeah, and also the brake lines are underneath here. So yeah, so I have less room for error. I gotta make sure I'm not on one of these ribs. So yeah, this one's gonna be a little hard. I might be trial and error. So I'm gonna do a tiny bit first, see where it lands. Hopefully I don't nick anything in the way.
A few moments later.
Unfortunately, my first screw hole ended up not in a good spot. Like the bottom side is kind of at an angle, which would make it kind of hard to put a nut or to put a rib nut in it. So I had to re-drill it a little bit inward, closer to the lines. But luckily I did not hit anything. If I did, I'd be having a bad day. Hey, you can see I got my hole straightened and it's in there. The only thing left to do is actually bolt it down, which you get 2 options. You can either nut and bolt it, or you can use a rib nut. I prefer the rivet nuts, a little bit cleaner install. It also makes removal of it a lot easier. I don't know about you, but my arm isn't long enough to hold the bottom of the nut while screwing in the top end of those inner ones, or that you need two people to get those, and I'm one person, so I think I'm just gonna throw some rivet nuts in it. That way I can do it all from the top. I am a big fan of rivet nuts, so if you don't have one of these tools, I'd advise get one. I'm using a M5 rivet nut. You're gonna need a 3/8 drill bit to drill the hole bigger for those to fit. Got all my rivet nuts in. Pretty easy. All that's left is to actually put the plate down on and screw it in. Okay, got it all screwed down. I did have to add another spacer here for it to reach, since it's a pretty big gap there. But feet placement's pretty good. I'd rather it have been folded that way just a little bit. So my feet reach just a lot better than it did. The weird thing about these cars, FRS BLZs, is the gas pedal is a little bit further down than the brake and clutch, so it's a bit of a reach. So one of the next things I probably need to get is the Veris spacer for the gas pedal, which will space it out closer. Makes this gap a little better. That will improve it. And like that, it is done. I almost forgot the most important thing. Don't forget to eat your gummies. They're good for you. Also, should probably take it for a test drive. I can't do a mod without test driving it. Take it for a spin, see how she feels while I eat my gummies. Okay, I'm back from my test drive. I don't know how much you can see from that video I did. Not the best view, to be honest. And to be completely honest, I'm not 100% thrilled with my placement of it. I definitely need to go further forward, because I'm still, the heels of my feet are pretty much at the tip of the panel. So I might end up having to adjust it. So if you're doing this to this car, go even further forward than I did. So yeah, I'm definitely going to have to adjust mine, push it forward, but luckily it is adjustable and I can do that. But that is it for this install video. I hope it helps you out, and for more videos, hit that subscribe button and the bell button and the like button and all the buttons. Just go down and start hitting buttons, and I will see you next time. Peace.